Hey fam, so probably you do run an Aethir Checker node on the VPS. Maybe your VPS provider is not as stable. Probably you're paying too much for your VPS service and want to move your VPS to a new provider, or maybe you just want to reset your VPS and completely create a new Aethir Checker node on a new VPS. I'm going to take you through a tutorial on how to migrate your Aethir Checker node from an old VPS to a completely new VPS. Now this is one of the videos that has been asked mostly in my community, and that's why I'm going to take you through a tutorial on exactly how you can do this. Now just before I go in there, I want to highlight that I see a lot of people paying so much for their VPS subscription. I know people who are paying like $10 a month for their VPS when they do have one Aethir Checker node license. This is really a waste of money. So here for instance, I'm using RackNerd for my Aethir Checker node. I do have only one Aethir Checker node license, and I'm using the subscription here, paying just $12 a month, right? So you do not have to pay too much. Going overkill on the specification doesn't guarantee you to get more rewards. The most important thing is that your VPS meets the minimum requirement. So for me, for instance, with the one Aethir Checker node, I'm using this one here. If you do want to test out RackNerd services, I'm going to put my referral link with the VPS subscription you choose. Tell it with the number of licenses that you have so that you can save some money. So what I have here is I have opened all my two VPSs. So the one that you have on the left is the old VPS, and the one that I have on the right is my new VPS. If you're watching this video, I presume that you know how to connect to a VPS server, so I'm not going to cover this in this video. So what we're going to do first, I'm just going to show you that my Aethir Checker node is running on the old VPS. Now to do so, I'm just going to enter the screen that is running my Aethir Checker node. I'm just going to use the command screen -ls, and then here you can see that I'm running Aethir, Carve, and Rivals all on this VPS. By the way, this is also one of the things that I always recommend to my community. You can run multiple nodes on a single VPS depending on the specifications of your VPS. So long as your VPS is powerful, you should be able to run multiple nodes on it. For instance, this is a Contabo Cloud VPS 2. As you can see, I'm running Aethir, Carve, and Rivals all on the same VPS. I will be coming with a tutorial soon on how you can run multiple nodes on the VPS. So if you'll be interested in this, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss this video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the screen that is running the Aethir Checker node. So I'm just going to type screen space -r, and I'm going to type the name of the screen that is running the Aethir Checker node, which is Aethir. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prove to you that the checker node, everything is working here. I'm going to use the command Aethir license summary, and I'm going to press enter, and then you can see that I have only one checker node license, and currently the status is checking. So my Aethir Checker node is technically ready to be worked with. Now if for some reason you do not have, you closed your screen that is running Aethir, maybe I can just close the screen that is running the Aethir Checker node. I'm going to use the command screen -xxs. I'm going to put in the ID of the screen. So this is only for those who closed the screen that is running Aethir, right? And I'm going to type quit. So when I use a command, so now the screen has closed. When I use a command screen -ls, you see that I do not have the Aethir screen anymore. Now to do this, so if you are starting from this point where you have closed your screen, just create a new screen called Aethir. So using the command screen -s Aethir, and just press enter. Now here what we're going to do is we're going to start the Aethir application. So what you need to remember is that the Aethir application itself is found in the folder that contains the checker node. So what we have to do first is to change into the directory where the application is stored. Now if you're not sure which directory it is, just use the command ls, and this would basically list all the folders that are currently on your VPS. So in my case, you can see that I didn't delete a lot of my old Aethir Checker node software, so that's why I still have all these there. But in your case, in the best case, the one that is running the latest version is the Aethir Checker CLI Linux folder. So just type in here cd space, so the cd means change directory. I'm going to copy the Aethir Checker CLI, and I'm going to paste this. So if you're interested in this application, the application that I'm using is called Temios. It's a very nice application because it saves all the passwords to my VPS and stuff like that. But you can also technically use any application like PuTTY, Windows PowerShell, and stuff to do this. I just like this because it allows me to be able to work between the two VPS very quickly. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change it to that directory using cd Aethir Checker CLI Linux, and I'm going to press enter. And now I am inside the folder that is containing the Aethir Checker node. So when I run the command ls, which means display directory, you can see this is the Aethir Checker node application. Now to start the application, I'm just going to use the command // I'm going to copy this application name here. I'm going to paste this in here, and I'm going to press enter. So here you can see that I'm inside the Aethir Checker node application. You can see this by the input here, please input. So here when I run Aethir license summary, you see that I still have, it shows that I have my license checking. By the way, if you're running the Aethir Checker node, the Aethir Checker node now runs as a service, so you do not need to keep the screen running. You can close the screen whenever you want. I technically just keep it running because it doesn't cost me anything extra. Now the reason why I opened this is that we would fetch the private key of our burner wallet address and import it into the new VPS. You can technically create a new burner address, but the thing is that if you create a new burner address on the new VPS, then you need to do the redelegation on the Aethir Checker node portal. But the best way to do this is that you don't change the burner address so that you don't need to do any redelegation on the Aethir Checker portal. When I'm talking about the Aethir portal checkout, this is what I'm talking about. So here you see that you can see that my checker node is checking because I already have this burner address. So long as I did not change this burner address on the new VPS, I do not need to do the redelegation. That's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do. So what I'm going to do here is that I now have on the right side, I do have my new VPS that I want to configure the Aethir Checker node on. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to technically install the Aethir Checker node newly, install the application, do all the things that we have to do to the point where we're going to have to import the burner wallet address from the old one onto the new one. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you through the tutorial on how to do this. But if you want to check out how to install an Aethir Checker node, I do have a billion tutorials on my channel. You can check this out. So whenever I'm working with a new VPS, the first thing that I always like to do is to update the operating system. Just use the command sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade -y. I'm going to provide all this command for you in the description section. I'm just going to put this in and I'm going to wait for the updates to be completed. So now that was pretty fast. I didn't have that much to update because I just installed the Ubuntu on the VPS. Now the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to download the Aethir Checker node application itself. So I'm going to use the wget command. I'm going to also provide a wget command in the description section. Technically, depending on the time that you're watching this video, so this command is going to download the Aethir Checker client version 1.0.29. It could be that when you're watching this video, there's going to be a new version of the Aethir Checker client, so you would have to use probably a different link. The concept here is to tell you how you can do this, but the link is always going to change depending on the time that you're watching this video. So I'm going to put enter here, and this is going to download the Aethir Checker node application. So now this is downloaded. I see this as 100%, so that means that the checker node has been successfully downloaded. So when I use the command ls, you can see that I do have the file that was downloaded here. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to first extract this file that we downloaded. Now to extract the file, we're going to use the command tar space -xvf space, and then we're going to copy this file name. Now what this command is telling the console to do is extract the file that is called this, and then just press enter. So now you can see that the file has been extracted. So when I type the command ls now to display all the contents that I have here, you see that I do now have a new folder that is called Aethir Checker client -Linux. So initially I used to have only this file, and now you can see that I have the file that I downloaded and the extracted folder. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to install the Aethir Checker node on the screen. So if you've been running Aethir Checker node, I'm sure you're pretty familiar with screen. So to install screen, we're going to use the command sudo apt install screen and then press enter. So now it says that in my case that screen was already installed because I already had it installed when I was using the DigitalOcean VPS. But if you do not have this installed, you can just use the command sudo apt screen to install the screen application. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new screen that is called Aethir, and this is where we're going to launch the application. Now to do this, just type screen space -s and then type Aethir. You don't need to use Aethir, you can use whatever you want to do. But in my case, because I run multiple nodes on the VPS, I like to give the screen a unique identifier so that I can know which screen I'm working with. So now we have screen -s Aethir, and I'm just going to press enter. And then what you see is that it creates a new space for me because this is where I'm going to work with the Aethir Checker node. Now if you've been installing the Aethir Checker node before, you know the first thing that we're going to have to do is to run the install script. Now to do so, we just first have to change into the directory that contains the Aethir Checker node. So when I type ls, you do not need to memorize the folder, just use ls to know what the folder name is. So this is the folder that is containing the checker node, and then type the command cd. So cd means change directory, and then we're going to highlight and copy this, and then we're going to paste this in here, and then just press enter. Now what you see is that the syntax changed from this point here to a longer syntax ending with Aethir Checker CLI. So that means that we have entered the folder that is containing the Aethir Checker node. So when I use the command ls to list the contents, you see that I have the checker node application, I have the service, I have the config file, and I have the install and the update. Now what we want to do first before you can install a Aethir Checker node, you need to run first the install script. So I'm just going to type /install.sh. Now you can also prefix this with sudo, but most of the time if you are running the VPS as the root user, you do not need to use the sudo command, and that's why in this case I'm not using the sudo. But if you are comfortable with using sudo, you can just type sudo before the command and it should also work. So I'm just going to run this command here, and I'm going to wait for the Aethir service to be installed. Okay, I did have some error here, but I guess it's fine. It's because I didn't have this already, and that is why there was nothing to be installed. It's telling me that it couldn't find the Aethir service checker to stop it because it thinks that I'm doing an update, but this is a completely fresh installed, so it does not matter. So you see that I have a confirmation here that the Aethir Checker service has been installed and started successfully. Now what we're going to do, this is the important part, we're going to launch the Aethir Checker node application. Now to launch the application, you can also / the command ls to find the name of the file. The file that we are interested in is this application here. So to install it, to start the application, just use // and then we're going to copy this file here, and then we're going to paste it in here, and then we're just going to press enter. Now it's telling me, like always when you're installing this for the first time, to accept the terms and conditions. I'm just going to press Y, and then the application has started. Now this is the part where I want you to pay attention, because this is where the magic is going to happen. So as you can see, the application did not find a wallet, so that's why it's telling me to please create a wallet. Now most of the time when you get here, we typically type the command Aethir wallet create, right, and this creates a wallet for you. But if you do this, what is going to happen is that you're going to get a new burner wallet address that you're going to have to go back to the Aethir portal and do the delegation. But what we want to do is, we don't want to use a new burner wallet address, we want to use the old burner wallet address so that we do not have to do the redelegation. But it doesn't matter, if it gets too complicated for you, just create a new burner wallet address and then do the redelegation again on the Aethir portal. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to import the burner wallet address from the old VPS onto the new VPS. Now to do so, come to the old VPS and type the command Aethir wallet export. And what this is going to give you is, it's going to give you the private key of your burner wallet address, and it's also going to give you the public key. So this public key is what we typically use to do the delegation on the owner portal, and this private key is the key that we're going to use to import the burner wallet address onto the new VPS. Now to do the import, you have to use the command Aethir wallet import space, and then just copy the private key that we have here, and then come to the new console and just paste in that command. So what we have is, we have the command Aethir wallet import. That means that import the wallet with a private key, this one here. So when you do this, just press enter, and then you see that we have a confirmation wallet auto login success. You have one delegated license and one node running right now. So this is where the magic happens. Because I used the same burner wallet address that I was using on the old checker node, it automatically detected that that burner wallet address is already bound to a license, and the checker node is already running on the new VPS. So when I type the command Aethir license summary, you see that it gives me a confirmation that my checker node is checking, which is awesome because I didn't have to go back to this page to do the delegation. This is the best part of it. But if you find it too complicated, you can also just create a new wallet address and just do the delegation. But I like this process because then I do not have to do this. So technically our new VPS is up and running and currently running the checker node. Now there's a few things that I'm going to suggest to you to do on the old VPS. So because we have moved the checker node to a new VPS, what we want to suggest that you do is to stop the checker node application on the new VPS. Now to do so, there are several ways that you can do this. One way that you can do this is to kill the screen now. So I can press Ctrl A and K, right? And you see that it tells me, do you really want to kill this window? If I type yes, it's going to kill the screen. So I can just type Y, and it's going to kill the screen that is running the Aethir Checker node. So when I use the command screen -ls, you see that I now do not have any screen that is running the Aethir Checker node. Now we have killed the screen that is running the Aethir Checker node. Like I said, the Aethir Checker node runs as a service. So what we have to do is to stop the service that is running the Aethir Checker node. Now when I use this command here, system control list units type service state running, is going to list all the processes that are currently running on the VPS server. So when I press enter, you see that I still have the Aethir Checker service running on the old VPS, and this is what we have to stop. So to stop the service, just use the command sudo. You don't need a sudo, but just system control stop Aethir Checker. This is going to stop the service that you see here, right? I'm going to provide also this command for you in the description section, so don't worry about typing it all. And I'm just going to press enter. So now the service has been stopped if I rerun the old command that we did here and I press enter, you see that I do not see the Aethir service running here. So technically we are done, guys. You have successfully transferred your Aethir Checker node to a new VPS. Now on the old VPS, you can decide to kill the screen or to minimize the screen. It doesn't matter. What I typically like to do is to just minimize the screen. So I'm just going to press the command Ctrl A and D. This is on the new VPS. So when I type the command screen -ls, you see that the list that I'm running the Aethir Checker node. The reason why I leave the screen running is that I typically run multiple nodes on the same VPS, and it just makes it easy for me to remember which nodes I'm running on the VPS. Now some bonus points for you. What you can also do is to delete the old files on your old VPS. So for instance, if you use the command ls, currently you see that I have a chunk of Aethir Checker node folders on the VPS. If you want to remove these folders, you can just use the command rm space -rf space and then just put in the name of the folder. So I'm just going to put this in here and I'm going to press enter. And then when I type the command ls, you see that I do not have this file anymore. Right, I only have these folders here because I've already deleted it. Now the easiest way to delete files from the VPS, which I always recommend, is to use the FTP or the SFTP method. Now in Terminus, for instance, it's very easy. When I go to SFTP and I come to connect, select host, and I connect to, so what I want to delete is from the old VPS. So when I come to my old VPS, it technically loads all the files that are currently stored on the VPS, so it's very easy for me to delete. So if you want to delete this one, for instance, I just come to delete. I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete all of them, and I'm going to prove to you when I go back to the console that I wouldn't have these files anymore. So I deliberately left only the 1.0.27. So when I come back to my old console here and I use the command ls, you see that everything is deleted. I only have the 1.0.27. So folks, that's it about how to migrate your Aethir Checker node from an old VPS onto a new VPS. If you do have any questions, you can put this in the comment section, and also you can also join my new Discord channel. Currently we have about 100 people who are on this channel. We are helping people out there that have problems with setting up their nodes, and we also have new projects that we also present on the channel as well. So if you have any questions, you can come to my Discord server, you can ask me, or you can also put this in the comment section. If you did find this video helpful, I'm very glad if you hit the thumbs up button and also subscribe to my channel to see more like this. Like I hinted, I'm going to come up with a tutorial soon on how to run multiple nodes on a single VPS, and I think this will be quite exciting for a lot of people who would be looking for ways to maximize their earnings and to save a lot of money when running these nodes. And with that, I say thanks for watching this video and see you in the next one.